Hey, I'm back again with a very different message from what I usually post, but it's a very important message. So, for some of you, what I'm going to say could potentially blow your mind, but we need to be honest. It's 2020 now. A lot of transformation is occurring. We need to burst the bubble of illusion. So this selection of cards is a perfect representation of what's really going on in the world right now. This isn't a reading. I haven't pulled these cards out at random. I've purposely chosen each one because they best represent the message that I'm trying to get across here. So as we know, there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of upheaval happening around the world right now. But I believe that at this time, there's such a major awakening going on in the world. Just like this Tower card, things are crumbling down and it seems like it's really bad. It seems like there's so much turmoil, but it's so that things can be rebuilt out in the truth, out in the open. Things that have been hidden, the illusion, the matrix is crumbling before our eyes, and it's very scary. It's bringing up a lot of fear. And there's definitely authorities in the world that are trying to keep us blinded to the truth, but it's like they've got too big for their boots. They've tried to do too much to keep that illusion going, that, they've bitten off more than what they can chew. And the truth is coming out. The illusions are crumbling, but there's a lot of chaos. The Tower is always a blessing in disguise. So we can rebuild again once the storm is over. It's the new dawn, the new day, the great awakening. People are wising up, waking up. And this message is to assist in that change, that great awakening. So there's a lot of evil in the world that's being exposed, and these authorities have tried to keep us in a place of illusion. They've tried to put us almost like in the Truman Show. They've tried to surround us in a bubble of illusion, the matrix. And, once the bubble bursts, once the tower falls, once the blindfolds come off, it's very, very shocking to see the stark reality of what's really going on. So right now there's this worldwide experiment going on, how they're trying to test how much control do they actually have over us. Are we just going to go along with the narrative that they are feeding us, even though that narrative has got so many holes in it? It's never really made sense, even from the beginning. I mean, if they really cared about our health and our life, surely then they would ban smoking and alcohol. More people die from all these things every day, but yeah, we're supposed to believe everything they say, just like in that Eight of Swords, putting the blindfold on, but now, they want us to put that over our mouth, wear masks. They're trying to instill fear in us. When we're really fearful, we're desperate for relief from that. We're desperate for answers. We're desperate to look to someone in control, in authoritative places to really help us, give us that peace of mind again. And so there are so many people in the world that are listening to this narrative, even though the news channels are owned by, I think it's 5 or 6 major corporations. And, I stopped watching the news many years ago because it became very obvious to me that they were very biased in the things that they were sharing. A lot of things, 95% of things or more about fear, making us fearful, taking away our power by us becoming afraid. It's almost as though they've created a problem so then they can be paid to create the solution. I mean, it's always been their game, really, to keep us divided so we're less powerful, divide and conquer. That's their goal. and to instill fear. And, people who aren't fearful, people who see through this BS, basically, there's a division there as well. People who believe the narrative and those who, look elsewhere and uncover the truth, do their real research rather than watching mainstream media. But then there becomes a conflict between those two groups of people as well, believers and people who say that other people are conspiracy theorists and things like that. I mean, the term conspiracy theory was invented by the CIA to invalidate anyone questioning them about their motives, questioning them about what they are up to. So the fear is causing us to fear other people. There's a lot of separation going on so many levels. When the tower's crumbling, when people aren't buying the story, then they're throwing other things into the mix to create an even bigger divide. Let's keep people blinded. Let's keep them focusing on these struggles, this fighting, this conflict, about this apparent separation and about people being different. Let's do anything. Let's throw anything in the mix to cause them to be distracted by something else so they don't continue to focus on the BS and realizing that it's BS, and they're trying to stop people from waking up, basically. This is all just one avenue of the illusions that are coming up to the surface right now. There's another aspect of illusion that is crumbling and we're becoming aware of. There's a lot of evil going on in the world. The devil card, a lot of evil that's been going on for a very long time right beneath our nose, but people high up have managed for so long to hide that from the general public, and that is why they own the major news channels, so that they can just put across the narrative that they want to keep us eluded, to keep us in illusion and not seeing the truth of what's really going on. So, there's no coincidence that it's called a television. They're telling a vision, tell a vision. And, it's no coincidence that it's called programs. They're trying to program our mind. They're trying to program to get us to believe certain things about life, about the world, about reality. And it's very difficult times right now because what we once believed about the world, that's coming crashing down, and we're seeing the stark truth. And yes, that tower moment, it is painful, it is difficult when you're going through it, but like I said, it's to make way for a new beginning, a blessing in disguise, awakening. The truth is coming out and it's setting people free. So we need to wake up. These things aren't pleasant to look at. These things aren't pleasant to admit. It's difficult. It's difficult letting go of beliefs that you once held about life and the world and, morals of the world and people in the public eye, especially. It's hard to let go of that, but we need to be strong. We need to be like the Ace of Swords. We need to see the truth. We need to take back our personal power and realize that we are being programmed. Be mindful. Don't keep watching the TV. Turn the TV off. Go inwards. That's the last thing that they want, but that's what we need to do. Go inwards. We need to stop focusing on fear. The Five of Cups, focusing on the spilt milk, thinking everything's going wrong, because there is the law of attraction, and some of these elites, they know all about the law of attraction. They've even tried to program the world to believe that the law of attraction and things like that are all just nonsense. That's why everything's highly focused around science, but science actually proves like the law of attraction and all these things as well. But it's important that we focus on being positive, because whatever energy we are in is what manifests. So be mindful. Try to think for yourself. Try to see how mainstream media is trying to manipulate our thinking to make us feel powerless, make us feel fearful, make us believe in this separation, divide and conquer. It's time to be like the judgment card. Rise up. Have a rebirth, a reawakening. This is the new beginning. This is the great awakening. A lot of us are being called to speak the truth. And, there's a lot of people, if you look on YouTube, that are speaking the truth. So focus on that, Don't get your information from mainstream media. There's a lot of people online who are uncovering the truth and sharing it. And it's spreading like wildfire. So that is what we want. So the World card, this is the perfect symbol for the need to come together right now. The world needs to come together, but also the world is the conclusion card. So it's the ending of the old cycle. It's the ending of powerlessness. It's the ending of illusion, corruption, evil. This is the great awakening. The world is in a state of rebirth. So we need to be strong. We need to be mindful what narrative we're being fed and how that is trying to divide and conquer us. It's time for us all to think for ourselves. It's time for us to say no to these things that are trying to disempower us, separate us, keep us bound in fear. And we need to rise up like the sun. This is the new dawn. This is the new beginning. The new world, the great awakening. So, if you really want to understand exactly what I'm talking about, then please check out my playlist, the one that stands out and is very different from all my other playlists. You'll know which one it is when you see it. So click on that. And, if you're really ready for a great awakening, if you really want to be one of the people that help to make change in the world that is desperately needed and is happening, then check out that playlist. We need to be positive. We need to focus on what we want to happen in the world. The peace, the joy, the freedom, the unity of the world. We need to focus on the positive, because that will be what manifests that. So be the change that you want to see in the world. So thank you for listening. Take care. Bye.